Wembley, it's very much one-way traffic. The Lionesses dictating this game from start to finish. At half-time, it's 5-0, and you just feel like the floodgates aren't going to shut yet. What is it that England are doing right so far?
Well, as I said, they need to get off to a fast start, and they've certainly done that. They dominated and dictated the tempo. They were positive, playing forward, playing through the midfield, and being ruthless at the end of creating those chances.
Didn't take Beth Mead long, did it, Righty?
No, it didn't, and you can see that the Chinese, their flanks and the spaces they're leaving, defenders are all over the place.
Another goal then from Lauren Hemp, back from injury.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We know what a key player she is and how good she is 1v1, and you know, she picks up all sorts of areas on the pitch. She can come central, she can come wide, and here you just see her getting herself into the box. And it's a lovely finish for her to get on the end of it, because she makes a run centrally, and again, it comes from exploiting space in those channel areas, because the Chinese defence are just all over the place. They don't know whether to press, whether to drop off, whether to track runners, and it's leaving too much space for England forwards.
Right, 4-0 was an interesting goal, because the Chinese goalkeeper's having a bit of a mare out there today, isn't she?
A major mare. It's not a bit of a mare.
Georgia Stanway, it was a clearance and goalkeeper, and then she put it back between her legs.
Well, the thing with it is when you look at it, Laura, is that when you watch this ball come in, Lauren Hemp does well here to dispossess the fullback. She's really weak there and everything. She does well, but here, she's got to catch that. She's going up with her own defender when you see it. It's a great ball in. She's a bit indecisive about it because she doesn't know whether to catch it or not. She should be just catching that. She's got enough time. She's made a dive out of nothing there, and it's her play. You look at her. It's her player there, and then obviously the power that Georgia's hit that with, she's not got really much chance. But she's a really poor goalkeeper.
And then a penalty that China gave away, that Georgia Stanway decided to... I mean, this was a very lengthy VAR check, wasn't it, for handball, which was quite obviously a handball. Yeah,
it took a long time. Initially, we thought it came off the body, but her arm is in a natural position. And I think you just can't be that naive in the box when England are attacking. They have to do a lot better.
I didn't realise this. I thought once it come off of your body, then it went up to your arm. The arm was in a really peculiar place, but I didn't think they were going to give it because of that reason. It came off the body first, but the arm was in an unusual place.
And it took a while, and look, Georgia Stanway got the penalty, as we saw, and then it's 5-0 at half-time. And this England side, they seem to be in a mood for it, and we kind of want to see this. But now, Righty, do we want to see a few changes?
I would like to see a few changes, I think. But what I do like about, like Neat said, about the ruthlessness, once they've recognised that there is space to exploit, they're exploiting it and they're doing it ruthlessly. But I would like to see someone like Freya Godfrey get on. I would like to see that, someone different.
Well, we'll find out very soon, guys, because the team are going to come out for the second half very soon. England are in a destructive mood. They've had 10 shots, 6 of those on target, 70% possession. China can't find a way through at the moment. Second half coming up in a few moments' time. And that was a brilliant performance from all of the girls. Well done to the Lionesses. Wow, what a scoreline, 8-0. Hey, Neat. Oh, look at that. Beth Mead just coming over for a cuddle with Righty. She got a couple of goals just to kick it off. You said you wanted a fast start. Beth must have heard you.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so proud of you.
The way she got herself into the box, got forward, was positive, and was clinical in the box. She showed her experience. She showed that they also learnt lessons from the previous friendlies and how they've started those games, and that they really wanted to set the tempo and put China on the back foot.
For a minute there, I didn't know if we were going to get Righty back.
We lost him.
I noticed, Righty, that was all the Arsenal players, by the way.
Well, you know, the Arsenal players just came over, but, you know, I'm just glad to see them.
I was just saying to Neats, she wanted the fast start, and she got it. We asked for England to be dominant, and they were tonight. I
didn't think that China were going to be as poor as they are.
Yeah.
I think it just shows the levels that we're at now, but, and where the rest of the world is. But I thought they would, like I was saying to you, Neats, I thought they would have been at least very difficult to beat, structured in their defence. But at the end of the day, Neats was right. We started fast and we were very ruthless and made it very easy for ourselves in the end.
Let's have a look at Georgia Stanway's hat-trick. We heard from her there. She got 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah, it's brilliant, you know, overall play, I think, from the team, because they really exploited the space and behind China. Here you see Hemp wrestling for the ball, dispossesses the Chinese defender, and the cross into the box. It's a terrible parry from the goalkeeper, but, you know, who's there on the end of it? Georgia Stanway to fire away her shot. And that's the difference now. England, you know, getting themselves into positions where they're not only just, you know, creating things, but they're putting the ball into the back of the net, and no matter what the you know, opposition give them, yes, opposition could have defended better, but again here, you know, she is the England penalty taker, really clinical in that situation.
Yep.
And England just dominated that final third play. They tried to play a nice combination link-up play on the edge of the box, and she's on the end of it again, shows a little bit of composure on the turn to finish. I'm sure Ian was impressed with that, being a former striker.
You know what I would say, what I like about this is that, you know, you can only beat what's in front of you, Laura, and if they come in and they're organised and we can recognise where their weaknesses are and then exploit it continually, then you will get an 8-0, you will get 7 and 8-0s, and I'm pleased to see us do that.
Have a look at this. Hannah Hampton, Agabova Jones, you're the best, going to have a hug. I tell you what, I feel like China need a hug at the moment, because that was I'm not going to mince my words here, that was a terrible performance from China. But righty, back in May, China managed to, well, it was only 3-0 when they played USA, so that is a much smaller scoreline.
It is, and again, we have to take credit for that, because we've got players that if you don't pick them up, if you're going to give someone like Kira Walsh time, and you're going to give people like that time, and Beth Mead, you're going to get punished. But I suppose the consolation is that 8 is a lucky number in China. Yeah.
Just maybe not this way around.
No, but that goalkeeper, and look at that goal. Honestly, she's probably the worst goalkeeper I've seen for a long time in everything what I've seen her do today. Easily, the worst keeper I've seen.
You just can't make mistakes like that at this level. And I think there was a disconnect in that Chinese defence. You know, the decision-making was poor, and England punished them for it.
They've obviously not played for a while, but there was something about the way that when we were watching them, it was almost, they were just out-muscled in every conceivable position.
But again, you know, you have to look at the coach, because they've not played since July. They're coming up against the European champions, you know, a very, very good team in England. There's no way they should be that underprepared. No way they should be that underprepared for us. They should have been a lot more structured in their defence. Now, maybe I'm doing a misservice in respects of them not being good enough to do that, but they should have been a lot bit harder to beat than that.
This was lucky number 8, but it was lucky for Russo, and she'd done so much work off the ball like she always does. She deserved a goal eventually. Yeah,
absolutely. I think I really liked the movement for this goal as well, the way she created space and time for herself to get that slip ball from Toone, who assisted, and you know, she deserved to get a goal in this game for all the work she put in.
You know what I would say about Alessia is that I was expecting her to maybe come off. I was quite pleased that she got her goal. You don't want to be a striker and your team's scoring that many goals and you're not getting any of them, but she doesn't get taken off. She doesn't get taken off at Arsenal. She gets moved to a 10. She doesn't get taken off here in a game where they're winning 5-0 at half-time. I'd like to see players like that get a little bit of a break from it.
Protect her.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, protect your players. Look, in a game that finishes 8-0, yeah, this is a conversation we can continue after the break, whether or not you want to see more play. I feel like we say it all the time, don't we? Listen, guys, as I said, very quick break, and then we'll come back and celebrate what was a huge performance for this England side in their homecoming tour for Serena Wiegmann. Absolutely, and those changes are going to be needed because there's so much to come, including the World Cup qualifiers. Next Tuesday as well, they're going to face Ghana. Before we get on to that, let's talk a little bit about the centre-back position, and Maya Tissier especially. What did you think of her distribution today?
I thought she was brilliant. I thought, you know, they kept the clean sheet, but she was assured, she was confident. Every time she got on the ball, she was positive, tried to play forward. She identified where the space was and executed balls in behind because China weren't controlling depth. And I think that's what you want to see. You want to see partnerships as well with Esme Morgan, that they have that connection and understanding. And sometimes footballers, you can make things complicated when you play a team and try to do the difficult thing. But she did all the right things at the right times. And it's also the weight of the pass, setting her teammates off so they can go and play forward.
You know, what I liked with it, when you see, even just with those clips, and I was watching her in the game, anytime she had time, and she did have a lot of time, they didn't close her down as well as they should have. But she didn't take the easy pass out when she had time to look up, and she knocked that long ball. She passed it into the... And that's what you're going to have to do when you go up against higher quality players. You're going to have to get the ball with maybe not so much time, but you're going to have to pick that pass out. And Maya done it today. She didn't shirk any passes. She didn't play safe. She passed it forward when she got the opportunity.
Let's discuss Ghana then, because next Tuesday, down in Southampton, we'll be there. Listen, they came third in the AFCON this summer. When you look at where they're ranked, 67th, and China was 16th, and we were talking about this, so we think that's quite misleading, actually, because don't expect the Lionesses to go and face Ghana and it be something like an 8-0. What do you expect?
Yeah, we expected China to provide more of a contest today, and they didn't, and they're higher ranked. But I think for Ghana, they would have watched this game, they'll analyse it, and they'll recognise that they have to get into the physical challenge with England and compete in the duels and set traps, because China sat in a mid-block, they sat off, they were passive, they allowed England far too much space, and I think Ghana will probably look to try to squeeze and put a bit more pressure on England where they can.
I like to think that Ghana would have been watching that to say, well, you can't give them that much space, and I'd like to feel as well that Ghana will be structurally more, I don't know, equipped to maybe deal with an England side, maybe a lower block, you know, tighter, keeping the bodies tighter, not too much space, and make it as easy as China made it today. That's what I'm thinking. But again, if England are playing in that form and you're not going to press them in certain areas, then you will get punished.
Don't concede 2 very early goals, and hopefully Ghana will be thinking, I hope Beth Mead doesn't start. One more friendly righty in this homecoming tour, and then tension quickly turns to the World Cup qualifiers. And let's show you the fixtures that are coming up for 2026. Ukraine against England, Tuesday, 3rd of March. They play them each home and away. Then they've got Iceland. Then they've got Spain. And I don't know, England just cannot seem to get away from Spain.
We don't need to get away from Spain. Obviously, Spain have shown that they've beaten us in the World Cup final, but we've beaten them Euros before, and we beat them again in the last Euros. So I'm not really fussed. Obviously, one of us is going to have to go through that group, but it doesn't frighten me to play Spain in the World Cup qualifiers. We shouldn't be afraid to play Spain.
You the same?
Yeah, I agree totally. I think it's one thing to play a team like Spain. You get over the psychological barrier when you know you can beat them and you can compete and play. That should give them the confidence going into the qualification.
And beat them in big games,
where the pressure is on. Yeah.
So what do you think she's going to do for these qualifiers? How much change do you think, and how many positions are up for grabs?
I don't think there's many positions up for grabs. I think that the usual suspects will play, and then obviously she'll bring the players in who's going to come in off the bench, Chloe, maybe Grace Clinton, whoever it's going to be, but it will be the usual suspects, I think, that will start those games.
Okay. Gosh, it never stops, does it?
No.
How exciting. Lovely to see you two.
Nice.
Thank you for your company today. Okay, so a brilliant night for the Lionesses fans that made it to Wembley tonight. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 8 goals against China. What a brilliant performance. See you soon. Beth, 8 goals. How good were England tonight?
Yeah, we were very good. I think we had a habit of not starting well in games at the moment, and we wanted to do that and did that tonight. Nice to see lots of different goal scorers, lots of people getting minutes and come away with a big win.
2 goals for you in quick succession. You made those look so easy.
I like being in front of goal and getting goals, so that was nice. But yeah, I thought we put together a lot of good goals tonight and got each other in really good spaces, so I'm happy to get them too.
You briefly mentioned it there, but how important is it for the new faces and new players coming through, especially in the second half? They were able to impress, especially here at Wembley in a big crowd.
Yeah, it's a perfect time and opportunity to be able to get them the exposure at international level. I thought the girls who came on brought great energy. We obviously kept scoring goals. It's easy to take your foot off the gas sometimes in them types of games, so it was good to see them get the minutes and the goals.
A 50th win for Serena Wiegmann as England head coach. Another impressive milestone for a very, very special coach.
Yeah, she makes it look easy. I said I do with my goals, but Serena makes coaching look very easy. Yeah, she's an amazing coach to play under, work for, and you see that from how the team play under Serena.
What do you learn from games like this?
I mean, it wasn't our hardest game, we know that, but you play the team that's in front of you, you work hard. We made them look very, very average tonight, and we've got to take away little different things from the game, and then we regroup for Ghana on Tuesday.
Thanks, Ben. Well done.
Thank you.